So Beto O'Rourke has declared his candidacy. Who is this guy? What are his positions? How should we be thinking of him? Is he running for president, for vice president? What's the situation with the Democratic primaries? Check it out. Leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Beto O'Rourke this morning. I don't know if you saw the clip. It was carried live on CNN and MSNBC. I'm not sure if Stephanie cut away for it. It was fascinating. One of the fascinating things about it was that, Beto O'Rourke was asked if he supports Medicare for all, and he went off on a screed about how important it is that everybody have health care, that we have universal health care, but did not say, yes, I endorse Medicare for all. He was asked about the Green New Deal, and he went off on a riff about how terrible climate change is and how we already have climate change refugees and things like that, but didn't specifically endorse the Green New Deal. It's interesting to watch him try to kind of take this down the middle on the one hand. On the other hand, maybe it's very smart. Maybe it's smart to say, okay, I'm going to be flexible on these things. We had this conversation yesterday with Congressman Mark Pocan, where he was sharing with us something that Nancy Pelosi had actually taught him or told him. And what Nancy had said is that values are more important than issues, that issues come out of values. And so if we clearly express our values, for example, healthcare should be a right. Every American should have the right, as a simple human right, every American should have full access to healthcare. That's a value. Now, how do we get there? Do we get there through Obamacare? Do we get there through Medicare for all? Do we get there through a multi-payer nonprofit system like Switzerland has? Do we get there through a multi-payer with government involved in public option program, sort of like Germany has? Do we get there through a state-owned and run system, essentially socialized medicine like the United Kingdom has? Do we get there through a single-payer system like France has? Do we get there the way Canada did, Medicare for all? There's a variety of ways to get there. And if, right now, the one that's really hot and that everybody's, saluting the flag on is Medicare for all, but if a candidate says, I'm not certain that's the best way to get there, that's one of the ways to get there, but we're going to get there, are we ready to actually take their word for it? Because we've been burned before. I mean, you go back to Bill Clinton's New Covenant speech in 1992, he was talking about these same things. Barack Obama, Hope and Change, he was talking about these things. Well, he actually did something about health care, something really huge and consequential, as a matter of fact. And had it not been for Joe Lieberman sabotaging the public option, frankly, I think, right now, here, 6, 8 years later, most Americans would probably be on Medicare, and we'd be 3/4 of the way into Medicare for all because, hey, it's cheaper and it's better coverage. And I can tell you, having been on Medicare for 2.5 years, it is cheaper and better coverage. So, how should we be viewing? Through what lens should we be viewing Beto O'Rourke's candidacy? Because really, he's talking values, but he's being a little squishy on policy. So are we twice burned, once shy, or are we, hey, this is really the way to go? I'm still working this out in my own head, so I'm not saying that this is the way it is or the way it isn't.